Welcome back. Today we are going to talk about Dementra NPI process. NPI stands for New Product Introduction. So we'll go through that. This is our agenda. What is Dementra NPI process? What are the possible combinations? What are the processes? What is meant by member management, chaining management, and workflow? These are the steps that we have to follow when we do this NPI. So let's jump to the actual process. So what is this NPI? NPI stands for New Product Information. So when we launch a new product, okay, so we don't know history. Then how we determine the forecast? So if there is no any history, then there will not be any forecast. So just to avoid, just to build the forecast for the new item, there are various ways. Like, okay, this item A is similar to item B. So just copy the data from B item and use for A. Or model A is launched by model A is a replacement for model B. So it's the same item, but or it's the same kind of item, but the different features will so now we want to launch it. Like we are having right now iPhone 6 and now want to launch iPhone 7. So iPhone 7 is a new item, don't have history. Then what should we do? We can use some kind of history of iPhone 6 and we can build the forecast for based on that. So that is the idea behind it, this new product introduction. So once we have kind of history, then determining the forecast and everything, this will be pretty standard. But how to collect the history, that is the question, and for that we have to do some certain steps. So here I have listed on some examples, like a new product will be launched in the existing market. Now the new product, our iPhone 7 example. So iPhone 7 is new product, but launched in an existing market. It is launched in the same in US, across the globe, India, Australia, everywhere. It is launched in the same way. So it's the same marketplace, but only item is different. So that is the case. Or it's an old product but launched in a new market. Or for example, Apple is trying to enter in the Indian market, which is a pretty new market, different kind of market. But iPhone 6 is an old model. iPhone 7 is a kind of pretty mature model. But we want to launch in the new market. So that is the one case. Or another case, altogether new product in the new market. So for example, Tesla motor. The Tesla motor, they have launched the new kind of solar panel. So they are already in the market, but it's a new product and it's altogether completely new market for that new product. So that kind of scenarios. And so ideally, in case of NPI, we will reference one of the item, we'll copy the history data, and we'll paste it for this new item for specific date range. So this is something we will do in NPI process. And this NPI process is not an admin job. It kind of, I will say it's a monthly routine job by product management team or engineering team whenever they launch a new product. So it's kind of a monthly activity they have to, or it can, we will load this data, NPI data on monthly basis or quarterly basis depending on the nature of launching the window. So that is our NPI process. So these are some possible combinations what we have already seen. Like item is similar, okay, but there is some specific location. Okay, sorry, one step back. So here what we are saying is there is an item is similar, but its a location is different. So this kind of one combination, or the locations are same, but one of the item, but there is a new item, or there is nothing is same, altogether new. So these are the three possible combinations which are supported by Oracle NPI process. So if I want to use item similarity, so that means I will use item and my location might be something new. So there is one concept called source and target. we'll take the data from the source and we'll put it in the target. So the target values, target series. Okay. So now what we are saying is the location will be a specific, it might be new or it might be existing location. And for that location, that will mention as a target. So whatever we mention as a target, they will move that and will copy this item data from the source. So we'll copy the old item data and we'll use a new location. So this is one of the combination. The same for location similarity, where the location is the same. So location is as per the source. So whatever the I'm copying the source, and target is something whatever the new item that I'm creating here. So that will be considered for the chaining. And there is nothing is similar, so that means everything as per the target. I will mention this is my item, this is my location, these are the target values, and just load the data. So for NPI process, so we need to identify what is our source item, what is our source location, what is our target location, what is our target market, target item. So we need to identify source and target entity, and then once it is done, then just matter of doing some kind of transaction in Dementra. So for that we have to use the two Dementra sub applications, which is a member management. In a member management, we'll select the members or we'll create a new members if it is required. And in the chaining management, so when I say member, so it might be item member, it might be item level, or it might be a location level. And in the chaining management, we'll say, okay, this is my source data, this is my target data. Copy the data from the source for this date range to the target. So that is the chaining. So we'll start, okay, let's process this data. So that's the chaining management. So these are the two sub-applications that we have to see. Are we good here? Yeah. So let's go to Dementra. Now, so for that, as I mentioned, we assume that we have decided what is my item, what is my location, everything is in my mindset. Now I have to do transactions. So for that, there are the two places where I can do this transaction. One is through collaborator workbench. So So in the collaborator workbench, you will see there are applications here. In the application, there is a member management and chaining management. So the last two applications, that particular user can access from here. So these two are required for NPI process. So if the user can open this application from his collaborator workbench, or if that user is having admin access, so there is already one application which is installed on the server, on the Windows server, that we can use it. So where is this demand planner? So go to demand planner, then you go to management tool, and there you will get a member management and chaining management. So in both the cases, the navigation screens and everything will be the same. But only thing is from where you are accessing it. So when you are accessing the first time, then it will do installation. Like there are 100 users. Out of 100 users, there are 5 users who does this launching new product part. So for that 5 users, they will select here, and then it does the installation. And then once the installation is done, then this application look like this. Okay, so now go to, let's see what is there in member management. So as I mentioned, in the member management, it can be an item level, it can be a location level, right? So that's why there are the two dimensions for this member management. One is item and another one is the location. So the left hand side, we are having, these are the item levels. So I have selected item, so it shows all the item levels. which are the root levels. If I select location, then it will show all the root level location levels. So let's go to item. Okay, so now I have to select one of the existing item, and I have to launch to the another. I have to launch to the another new market. So let's take an example of that. So here, so you can click show members, and then you have to select what are the different levels first. So I will select these are the all root levels. So ideally you have to select all the root levels. Show members. And then it will show me all the items, and then I can select from here, and then it will then I can go to the next step. Or there is another one option where I can say, okay, I will use a filter rather than going through the list. I will say, okay, I know my item, so let me go to item, and then here you can select your required item. Let me take an example of something, yeah, so this XP 9006, I will say okay, and then show members. Then it will show only that one particular record. Okay, so this is the one way to select the members. So I am selecting okay. I am okay with these values. So I need this. So here, if you click on the show member code, then it will show the member code. So rather than description. So it is this is by XP 9006. Then corresponding demand class hierarchy is 1, class code is 0. So I will select my all values. If you have the multiple members, then it will show the multiple members, and out of the multiple members, you have to select one. So right now I am having everything is 1 so I will go ahead with that. Okay. So now, if I want to create a member, so there are the two options. Okay, you can create a member from here, or you can create a member from worksheet. If you go to this worksheet, open any one of worksheet. Right, here there is one options called new item. So I am in a worksheet. So this is the one method, right? When I do the right click, it opens a method. So I will create a method from this member from here as well. Once I done this one, then I can come and I can select the member for my chaining, or I can directly create from here as well. So in short, here you have to select the members, create the combinations. That's the only thing you will do in through member management. Okay. So here if I go to combination list, so it shows there is no new combination. I have used only the existing item, and this is what I have selected. Okay. And then I will say, okay, now I have selected item. Now I have to go to the another dimension, which is the location. So I have to link these two together. You know, the Dementra always work in the combinations, right? So I have to give the linkage, I have to do connection between the item and locations. So I will click on OK or the link to location. Now here it will open the member management, but the dimension is location. Okay, so in the same way what we did for item, we can select. It will show all the members for all these levels, and then you will select member for each levels, or you can filter that particular member. So I will prefer to filter. So I will go select organization E8. So E8 is having some more combinations. E8 is having the more data, so I am selecting E8, and now show members. Okay, I have to select all these members which it has to show. So it is showing me all these levels now. And now its site hierarchy, it shows, okay, these are the sites which are available, and organization is E8. So now I can select out of E8, out of these three, I will select any one of these. I will say show me code. So these are my code. I will prefer to show description. Okay, so now I will select all these level values. So now the last option is, so now I can create a combination. So what it does that, so that old item, the item which I have selected, okay, let me click on the combination list first. So I have selected this cell channel hierarchy which was missing now. So it says, okay, you are not creating anything new, it's existing one. So now here is so this is kind of summary screen where it shows this is item. Now I have selected items, the item combination will be this, item member details will be this. Now I will say create combination. It just give me some kind of message. I said yes. So that particular record, item and location combination is created, and this data is ready. Then I will say insert values and say, okay, do you want to create a zero history for this combination? So that means the combination is ready, but it does not have any data. So it is saying it will create with a zero history. Okay, so that's the, once I done this, then so this is the end of my member management. When now the member management, what it does that it select the item, select the location, create the combination. And now go to chaining management. So this is the next topic. So in the chaining management, there are the three sections. One is the target, source, and some series data. So in the target, what I'm mentioning is my target. This is my target data. If you double, okay, the first column is, you can give some name for this case. So I will say case number 1, and then when you double click on that, it will show what are the different things that you have selected. So I have selected this my item, right? So in short, you can further edit in the chaining management if you want to edit the data. And then my organization, then it will show the organization dimensions. What I have selected, go to the link location, then it will show. So this is my E8 and all. So this is the E8 which is there. So if you see, this is my target member. So this is what I want. Okay, so if you see this target at the top, this is the first main column. There are then further sub columns. So this target is having all these values which I have selected. Okay, and then there are some additional columns which is called population, proportion, and the process. Okay, so now it is mentioned. What is meant by population? Population means our sales data, in short. Proportion is nothing but it's a matrix data. In the matrix, it determines the proportion, right? So that's a proportion. And then what is the status? Whether data is implemented, not implemented. So this status is automatically updated once we move step by step. Okay. So this is my source data. Now the bottom side is my this is my target data. Bottom side is the source data. In the source data, what I can do, I can create one record and say, okay, now this is my item for which I need to target some, I need to define some source. Okay, so now once you double click, then you will select your source item and everything. So again, it's the same way. You can click on the item and select where is item hierarchy, this one, and I will select okay. So now this is I have selected this item. and what do you call show member. Okay, I need to select all these root levels. Show member. I have selected this item. I'm good with this. Okay, and then I need to select these members. Link location, and I will say okay, organization. Now for organization I will use a filter. Or I will use a site, any one site. Okay, so this is my site. So, and then again I need to select these values for each level. So I have selected any random item, random location as a source. Now data is populated. Okay. So the difference between these two top and bottom is here you have to mention some date range. So what I'm mentioning here is I'm mentioning okay. So copy data from the second Jan I will say okay first Jan or second Jan. Okay, that's fine. So from the Feb, copy all this data for next, for example, one quarter, or some 56. So the 56 weeks, it's almost 1 year, right? No, I will say 15. It's a history data, right? You should not pay that history data in future. So I should not be coming in the 2017. Okay, so now what I mentioned is that copy this data from the first Feb till somewhere mid of May from 2016 and to paste to somewhere in somewhere here. Okay, so this is so from 27 June it will start inserting the data of this of this population. Okay, and then what I'm mentioning is okay, what are the series that I need to copy? I need to copy history override. So my target series is a history override, and but I'm copying the data from the source, and the source series is history. I'm saying okay, copy 80% of values. Okay, then I can add another one series if I want and say okay, now copy, or I will say okay, copy history to history, or okay, let it be, and I will say okay, we are having the one series, right, price. So I will say even the copy price to price, and here say okay, copy 80%. And the same value for all the members. So all the members will have the same values, this proportion. Okay, now once I done this, then again I have to come here and then I have to update the values. So what I'm mentioning is, I will say okay, now use my target item and the location used from the source, same do for a proportion. In the proportion automatically it has updated. So what I'm doing is I'm copying this item and this location data, and what are the series that I'm copying? These are the series, and then again I'm doing adjustment or doing some override. You can mention 110%, 200% as per your need, and then also I'm mentioning this is my date range, and then I'm saying okay, the population, take the item data from the target. So target means this top row, and the location data take from the source row, and then same from the proportion, and the current status is it's not changed. Okay, so I will say save and then say, okay, click on chain. So in the chain it will say what are the things are getting changed. So these are the date range and summary and everything. So it gives some summary information. So as I mentioned, we are copying the item data from the target and the location data from the source. So we'll validate that, and then these are the date range and what are the series and everything. It will show everything here. So it's kind of summary. And now let me save it. Okay, so now the status has been changed, ready to chain, ready in chain queue. So data is ready for processing now. What is the next step? So next step is we need to run workflow manager. So there is one workflow, chaining workflow. Go to workflow manager. So there is one workflow called chaining. Yeah, here is that workflow. Okay, so I need to, what it does that, let's quickly see. So it is running some procedure, which is a chaining. So that's the only one single step which is performed by this workflow. Okay, back. Do you want to save changes? Cancel. Chaining. And I will say start. So it has started. So meanwhile, let's quickly see what we have covered. So we came here, we have seen the member management where we'll select the item location, item dimension, location dimension, then we have said that okay, create the combination, then we have said insert the data with the zero value, and then we have defined this chain. So these are the some status of that chain. So the status is like not chain, ready to chain, and then done. Once the status is done, then we are good, and then failed. So if it is error out, and then we have to run this workflow. So the next thing is once this workflow is completed, then we have to go to the worksheet, and in the worksheet we have to open this data for this targeted item and the source location, because that kind of combination we have used, right? And open that worksheet, see the data. You might see these values in the series. And so now we got the history. Well, the history is there. The next thing is running the Dementra engine, which is quite similar to rest of other combinations. So there is no change. So in short, we have to do this NPI activity prior to run our Dementra engine. Once we have loaded history and prior to run Dementra engine. So that's these are some useful scripts which you can use it, like whether the item combination is created, the organization combination is created, whether the matrix combination is created, how the data looks in MDP matrix for new item and all. So these things, just to validate, there are some useful scripts. Yeah, that's pretty much for NPI.